Hey guys, so I just wanted to do the top 10 reasons why I think you should buy the Galaxy S7 over the iPhone 7 here. Now that I've had both phones for a couple of days, I wanted to do like a full rundown here of all the ways in which I think the S7 makes the better buy overall. So first things first, we can have a look at the hardware and the software side of things, like the hardware. And the hardware on the S7, yes, it's a little bit older, obviously, than the iPhones, but it still feels remarkably competitive, in terms of, like, for example, the screen, as well as the build. In terms of the actual screen, we are getting a class-leading display still, obviously 2K Super AMOLED, versus the iPhone, which is coming with 720p still. I was hoping they would have upped it to full HD, but they still haven't. And basically, like when you are looking at content and stuff, and you zoom in quite close, you can certainly see the pixel differences here. Like it just looks much more sharper and more vibrant, and just all around, much nicer display. Whereas with the iPhone, the 720p Retina kind of display is starting to wear thin a little bit. It's bright, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't look like what Apple seems to be skimping out when it comes to the hardware, which is a bit annoying, really. Also, with some recent tests on YouTube, they found out that they don't use the same level of protection when it comes to the home button, as well as the camera lens. Like I think they've skimped on the sapphire glass, so that is quite annoying when you're paying for the latest stuff. The S7 as well comes with a glass kind of design, which does have its pros and cons. But one of the massive pros that it does have is the wireless charging, which allows you to just plonk it on a table as you come in from work or something, and then forget about it and charge it up. Whereas you don't get any of that with the iPhone. Unfortunately, we're not having wireless charging. We don't even have quick charge, I don't think, in 2016, which even entry-level no-brand phones do have, like quick charge 3.0. So that's a little bit annoying if you ask me. The battery capacity also is still like, I think about 2,000, whereas we're on 3,000 odd with Android. In terms of the software, iOS 10 is very nice, clean OS. I will give Apple that, but they're still missing some functionality that you do get with Android, such as like multitasking here, which is very nice. Theming options as well. If you're bored of the theme that you're using, you can quickly do that. The ability to change things like the icons, etc., icon packs. Whereas you don't get any of that on iOS. It feels like you're locked in a prison, and you got to do exactly the way you did it with the iPhone 6s, the iPhone 6, the iPhone 5. There's not much real difference, really. Not a massive software user experience. Samsung's gone well ahead when it comes to the camera app as well, in terms of giving you things to do, like pro mode, etc., live broadcast. Where's the manual mode here, Apple? Nothing here that I can do to really have a good experience with the new camera. It's all catered towards dumbed down kind of market, whereas Samsung's really giving you that and pushing ahead with new software features and stuff, so that is pretty nice. In terms of the actual price of each handset, this is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Obviously, it's the newest iPhone, whereas the S7's been coming down in price a lot, so you can pick them up for, I'd say, about 3/4 the price of an iPhone, which represents amazing value for money in general. So that's another reason to consider the S7 here. Another thing as well, expandable storage. You get up to, I think, 256 gig expandable storage capacity on the Galaxy S7. So Samsung's been coming out with ultra fast UFS like SD cards, and that means you can probably use them as your storage. Whereas if you want the highest end iPhone 7 256, you're going to have to shell out a lot of money for it. in comparison. So that's another reason to consider the S7 here. Another thing as well I have found during speed testing both devices, the S7 does keep up with the new iPhone 7 here. Obviously it is very variable based upon the apps that you do open. Some people have been speed testing and found that iPhone 7 was very quick, but in my experience S7 could keep up with the iPhone 7 generally, so that's quite good for saying it's pushing 2K display, and it's also got more RAM as well. That's more future proof. I don't know if you've seen the iPhone 6 video I did, but that's like really, even though it's only about 2 years old or something, it's starting to really slow down on iOS 10. So in 2-3 years time, I think this should be running still very good, because it's got the future proof specs, and that is very nice. In terms of the other things as well, you're getting a slightly bigger display here with the S7, very good for your content and multimedia consumption. The gaming as well, I have actually done a little test privately, and I found that there isn't really that much difference, to be honest. The iPhone does give you quite a good frame rate on certain games like the GTA, but the S7 still manages to keep up with it in many respects. We're also getting a headphone jack on the S7, so you don't have to bother with any stupid adapters, which do really annoy me, actually, how they could remove such an essential feature for those who's using wired headphones, for the best sound quality. So that's something that you may want to bear in mind. The camera lens doesn't jut out as well as much, so very less likely to scratch it when you are out and about, and that was quite a nice improvement from the S6, which did jut out quite a bit. So those are, I'd say, the main things that I have found here between the two devices. I'll probably do another video why the iPhone 7 is better than the Galaxy S7 as well, for fairness, but so far I'm really enjoying the S7, even though how old it is. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here between S7 and the iPhone 7. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.